With the what?
Any appetite for the rematch?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, could end up a good fighter. I think if Chris has a fight with Conor, it ends up a good fight. But I think Conor's got even more of a chance next time round because, like I said, I think Chris is 1 or 2 fights away from being done.
Liam Smith didn't hold back. He tore into Chris Eubank Jr. with zero mercy, mocking his chances in the upcoming rematch and backing Conor Benn without hesitation. According to Smith, Benn is even more dangerous now, and Eubank Jr. is just 1 or 2 fights away from being completely finished. But here's the twist. No matter what Liam or anyone else says, we ride with Eubank Jr. till the end. Come rematch night, it won't be Conor rising. It'll be Eubank Jr.
That we both signed for the rematch. That was one of the reasons we took the deal, is that we knew it was 2 fights and all the terms are the same. And but I said to Conor, when I said about, maybe you look at 147, and he just looked at me and he said, if you think that fight was a war, wait till you see the rematch. I was like, and I just feel like
Jr. burying every doubt beneath the ropes. Eddie Hearn has officially confirmed the rematch. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn II is signed, sealed, and set in stone. And according to Hearn, this sequel will be more savage, more violent, and more personal than their first explosive clash. Conor Benn, meanwhile, is foaming at the mouth for vengeance. When asked about fighting at 147, he snapped back with
rematch, and it will be brutal again. So I can only speak on my behalf, but we've signed for it, Eubank signed for it, and we expect it to happen.
Fire. This time, it's total carnage. He blames ring rust for his first loss and is hell-bent on proving it was a fluke. Hearn echoed that sentiment, praising Eubank's sharp performance in the first fight, but admitting Benn looked rusty. With proper prep, Hearn warns, Benn is a dangerous threat. But here's the reality. Eubank Jr. is levels above. Rusty or not, Conor is stepping into the fire, and this time, Eubank's not just out to win, he's out to destroy. This isn't a rematch, it's a war zone. There's no turning back now. The build-up is red hot, but when that bell rings, only
all my revenge. I think inactivity played a big part.
one man will walk through the flames. Eubank Jr. is not here to survive. He's here to make a statement, to silence every critic and bury the hype around Benn once and for all. Across the ring, Conor Benn isn't licking his wounds. He's planning revenge. There's fire in his eyes and obsession in his preparation. He refuses to let the first fight define him. He believes the real story is about to unfold.
With these rematches, with these types of intense fights taking place, like Conor and Eubank, a rematch right away will probably end their career. It's that intense. It's that so.
This isn't a broken man. It's a beast reborn. But here's the kicker. Eubank Jr. has already seen Benn's best and broke him. This rematch won't be redemption. It'll be a repeat, another cold, clinical dismantling. Even Oscar De La Hoya has jumped into the fray, throwing full support behind Benn. He's hyping the rematch as a war waiting to explode, claiming Benn's hunger for redemption makes him twice as dangerous. But while De La Hoya sees fire in Conor, Eubank sees a target. He sees a man chasing vengeance, not victory. And that's a dangerous game to play against.
But he'd be a better fighter. We've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
Someone who's already humbled you. Nigel Benn, Conor's father, exploded with rage after watching his son fall. He called the result a disgrace and labeled Chris Eubank Jr. a lucky opportunist who preyed on rust, not skill. He's demanding a rematch and promising that a sharp, prepared Conor will tear Eubank apart without mercy. Nigel even went as far as to call the first fight a setup, a false start before the real carnage begins. But while Nigel screams for revenge, Eubank Jr. is already sharpening the axe. He's calm, focused, and ready to turn up the violence. The storm is coming. But
you saw that Junior is too big a man. These weights that they are flouting is just, they're destroying the fighters.
The real question remains, can Conor Benn survive another ruthless beating from the man who already broke him? Chris Eubank Jr. has delivered a ruthless verdict on the brewing rematch between his son and Conor Benn, and he's not pulling punches. According to the elder Eubank, Benn was outclassed from the very beginning, never in Junior's league. He slammed Benn's reckless weight-cutting tactics, calling them not only dangerous, but a disgrace to the integrity of boxing. Eubank Sr. praised his son's raw strength, discipline, and elite preparation, insisting that no shortcuts or gimmicks could ever close the vast physical and mental gulf.
Next time Conor wants it next, and he was talking about maybe going down in weight. And I think that if they want to get it on, they do it again, in 6 months' time, and we will come
between them. This fight wasn't just a contest, he declared. It was a brutal lesson in size, strength, and discipline. In his eyes, Eubank Jr. didn't just win. He proved beyond doubt that he's the dominant force in this rivalry. Sky Sports pundit Adam Smith added fuel to the fire with his own breakdown of the rematch. Calling it a war fueled by unfinished business, Smith applauded Eubank Jr.'s resilience and composure through adversity, calling it the mark of a true elite. But he also acknowledged Conor Benn's fury, his burning desire to erase what he insists was a fluke loss. Smith stressed that this isn't just a fight. It's a grudge match, deeply personal, and overloaded with emotion.
I think there's a rematch in the contract, so there's no doubt that they'll run that one back and do it all over again.
And stakes. As the months build toward fight night, the tension will only grow. 6 months from now, Smith said, the boxing world will be glued to the ring, waiting to see who emerges as the true king of this fierce rivalry. Harlem Eubank didn't mince words either, ripping into Conor Benn's defeat and branding his pre-fight trash talk as empty noise that blew up in his face. Harlem called Benn's overconfidence humiliating, especially considering how far off his performance was from the hype he generated. The arrogance made it worse, he said. He wasn't even close to backing it up. Harlem criticized Benn's lack of focus and discipline, which he claimed was evident in every round. To him, Chris Eubank Jr.'s win wasn't just a triumph, it was a power move that cemented his cousin's place at the
we'll decide whether we do the rematch or drop down to the natural weight 147 and fight for the world title.
Top of the boxing summit. Harlem is confident the rematch will be another brutal showcase and will once again expose the gap in class between the two. Eubank Jr. is the real deal, he added, a force no one can ignore. But not everyone agrees. Tony Sims, Conor Benn's longtime trainer, came out swinging in defense of his fighter. He firmly rejected the idea that Eubank Jr. clearly won, claiming Benn actually outworked, outsmarted, and outboxed Eubank during key moments of the bout. Sims didn't hold back, slamming the judges and accusing them of robbing Benn of a win he earned through heart, grit, and relentless pressure. The scorecards didn't reflect what really happened in that ring, Sims argued. Looking ahead, Sims is already fired up for the rematch. He's convinced a sharper, more dangerous Benn will settle the score and erase all doubts. The only question left is whether Benn will chase world title glory at 147 pounds or finish the war with Eubank Jr. first. One thing's certain, Conor Benn's thirst for vengeance isn't going away. This rivalry is far from over. And the next chapter could shake the boxing world to its core. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who takes the rematch? Like and subscribe for the latest updates.